Imagine if we had the mindset of a person that just got out of slavery in the last 5 years. Imagine if we had that mindset right now with all the opportunity that we have, even though the Democrats and the liberals try to make it seem as if the world is holding us back and we have no chance of success unless we vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, even though they're trying to convince us of that. Imagine what somebody who's 5 years removed from slavery would be looking at us saying. They would be saying the same thing that black people around the world say about black Americans. These niggas is lazy. They got every opportunity they don't take advantage of. They're spoiled. They're ungrateful. Just think about what they would be saying.
Oh my God.
This is a question that comes up a lot. Let me ask y'all this. And let me remove this background. I think we saw enough of Trump and the inauguration for now. A question came up that I saw this gentleman answer, and it was based around, like, they were doing a debate between Democrats and Republicans, and the question was based around, when was America ever great? When was America ever great? When you hear "Make America Great Again," I know when I used to hear that when he first started pushing it, I was like, yo, that's racist. Just that slogan is racist, because how can you sit here and say that America was great? Like, when was America great? Let me ask y'all a question. Let me kind of look to my notes a little bit. Is America being great based on things being fair, based on morals, based on how we view culture? What makes a country great? And then I haven't even really thought out this, and I'm not saying I'm getting ready to throw something out there that I don't know if I even 100% agree with it. But these are some of the thoughts that I was having that I'm going to have to ponder over the next couple of days and with y'all on the show, and maybe even longer than that. I'm putting myself, and the question that somebody asked, the Democrat asked, as far as this gentleman, like, when was America great? And don't give me from 2016 to 2020, give me before Donald Trump started saying it. And when you look at right after slavery, because to me, a lot of America being great, just like whether or not Joe Biden was a great president, just like the economy, just like the stocks, it's just based on how people feel about a company, how people feel about a president, and how people feel about a country, right? So if you look at the mindset, now some people will say, like, how can you even consider right after slavery like America being great? And I'm not saying that I am. I'm telling y'all the thoughts that come through my mind. How can you consider right after slavery it being great? Well, I'm trying to think about what our ancestors who went through slavery felt during those times, where even though they didn't have anything, right? We live in a time right now, we have a lot. We get the new Jordans, we have access to a lot, right? Access to it. Coming out of slavery, they were so appreciative of the opportunity. Now I can read a book. Think about the last time you read a book. Think about the last time that a young kid read a book, even that they were asked to read in school, and didn't look at the Spark Notes, or I don't know what they got right now, but that you saw a kid just reading a book, or even adults just reading a book. But the mindset right after slavery, I'm sure they couldn't wait to read a book. They probably cherished every single page, learning how to read. You look at the kids right now in Chicago and Baltimore, none of the kids can read. So if none of the kids can read at reading level when they have everything that's given to them, it takes me back to that saying where it's like, hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men create strong times. Weak men create hard times. So at what point in that cycle is it great? Is it great at the point where the hard times create a strong man, in which that strong man has a strong mindset and a strong willpower to where right after slavery, you feel because you've endured so much, now you're going to take advantage of an opportunity that you have to learn, to not be in slavery, to marry each other more, where now we have the freedom to marry whoever we want, right? We can marry the same sex. You can marry whoever you want, right? You could probably marry an animal now. Well, if Kamala would have won, you can marry whoever you want. But why is the marriage rates so low? Why are the marriage rates lower? So to me, getting back to my thought process on this, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like, maybe it's a mentality. Maybe it's a mentality to where I endured everything, whether it was slavery, whether it was Jim Crow. Maybe it's a mentality. And I believe that no matter what, I have the opportunity to live out what has become this American dream. I have the opportunity to be successful. Of course, it's not fair. Of course, it's all these things that are that are weighing against me that person may not have against them. But my mentality is I have a chance, and I'm going to squeeze every bit of juice out of that chance in order to become successful and in order to leave this world in a better place so the next generation can become even more successful. That's the mentality that I'm dropping off in my child. The mentality that I'm going to be associated with when it comes to the culture that I've created just in my community, my village, my tribe. So when I think back to when America was great, or if America will ever be great, to me, it just goes based on a mentality. There's been certain times in your life where you've probably been down and out, but you may have felt better in those moments compared to the ones where you feel like you have everything. You feel like you got your dream job, feel like you got your girl, you feel like you got all these things. I don't know. But maybe you don't feel as inspired. Maybe you don't feel like you're working towards your purpose. Maybe you don't feel that you're working towards a greater good. I don't know. Will it just be when will America just be great when, like, at what percentage do people need to be out of poverty for America to be great? Will America just be great when people are living above the poverty line? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. But to me, just thinking on a lot of these things and kind of finalizing, putting a bow to my thought, it's the mindset that determines everything. Our mindsets determine everything. You can have a team that or a situation that is supposed to be extremely favorable for you, but if you have the wrong mindset going into it, it doesn't matter what you have on your side. I'd rather take the right mindset with maybe limited resources over that mindset. And that goes back to the saying, easy times create weak men. And maybe that's what we're seeing in a lot of our kids now. Maybe because going back to the point, could you imagine if we had the mindset of a person that just got out of slavery in the last 5 years? Imagine if we had that mindset right now with all the opportunity that we have, even though the Democrats and the liberals try to make it seem as if the world is holding us back and we have no chance of success unless we vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Even though they're trying to convince us of that, imagine what somebody who's 5 years removed from slavery would be looking at us saying. They would be saying the same thing that black people around the world say about black Americans. These niggas is lazy. They got every opportunity they don't take advantage of. They're spoiled. They're ungrateful. Just think about what they would be saying. That's why I think it's a mentality. When you look at the life that I have compared to somebody 5 years removed from slavery or compared to somebody living during Jim Crow, I think it's clear to say that, life is amazing. I think it's clear for a lot of us to say that life is amazing. So why are we still struggling so much? Why does it feel like, from a mentality, when you hear people talk about the black community, why does it seem like, damn, like they're almost less grateful of what they have now compared to what before? Which is going to lead us to have more of the success that we act as if we want, or we say that we want. So to me, it goes back to, if we had the mindset of in the 40s, when people were getting married at a higher rate than now, when black women were getting married at a higher rate than white women, What if we had that right now? I'm just asking. So I don't know if America, if you think that it's ever been great, or I don't know what it would even look like for you to say that it is great in the future. But to me, it all goes back to our mentality and what we think and how we approach the day and how optimistic we are and ready to take advantage of whatever. I don't care if it's a small opportunity, how passionate we're going to pursue it. So that's a little bit of kind of what was just going through my mind. Like I said, I still don't know exactly how I feel about it, but these are just the thoughts that were going through my mind. Let me catch up on a couple comments. Damn, my fault. Dang, I missed a lot. Hold on. I didn't know where I missed all these. Hold on. All right. All right. So Uncle Brother wrote, I'm suggesting that our country's economy grows to unprecedented levels. The size of our economically impoverished should not be growing to unprecedented levels too. Let me ask you this, Uncle Brother. Have you ever mentored a younger person who just doesn't want to how can I put this? I like relating everything to sports, right? Have y'all ever had teammates where every teammate is not trying to get better? Every teammate is not trying to get better. So if somebody's not trying to get better, should life improve for them? If you have a teammate right now that's not trying to get better, should they get more playing time? Should they score more? Or should it be, no, you're Kobe Bryant. You work your butt off. You keep working. Yeah, you airball them balls. Well, keep working. Keep working. Keep chopping wood. Where you'll have a lot of other teammates. Now, should the teammates that aren't working, should they experience the success like Kobe? So I don't know until we decide to tell, like, I don't put an emphasis on, like, it seems like you're putting an emphasis on the government. I put an emphasis on individuals. I put an emphasis on the individuals. If you have a life that you do not like, use that to motivate you, to inspire you to have better. It's no different. Do you know how sometimes I get this thought in my mind where it's like, yo, I wish I could be obese. So then the gains that I make would be appreciated more. If I take a shirt off picture right now, it's not going to be as appreciated as much as you see a Lizzo or somebody who was just heavy, who just lost some weight. Let's say they could do a 3-day and they could be celebrated more than because mine, it just seems like it's consistent, right? So there's not the same level of appreciation there. I wish that I could, sometimes I'm thinking like, yo, if I could just be fat and obese, whatever you call it, I'm not trying to be insensitive. And then I would just lose a whole bunch of weight and document my journey on Instagram and then align myself with different weight loss supplements, whatever, then that would be a win, right? Because you have the whole story. So it's the same thing when it comes to the mindset of people that are impoverished. If you decide that you want to be living in poverty, then that's on you. Now, should you have some assistance? Should you have people pushing you? Of course, you should have a community, a village, a family, a tribe. But if you decide to not take advantage of that opportunity, you can't blame the government on that, in my opinion. Anthony's too real, and they still act like we don't have nothing. I read a book a few hours ago. Shout out to Anthony's. That's why you different mindset. Uncompetitive wrote, Uncle Brother, hopefully there will be more trade schools and apprenticeships under Trump as universities create communist and huge lifelong debt. What are you saying is being given to the impoverished kids in Baltimore that they are neglecting to take advantage of? A top-notch school system full of competent, well-paid teachers invested in. How about the ability to go to the library and read, Uncle Brother? How about the ability to put your phone down or put the video games down to the side and pick up a book? Is that not privileged enough? And this is the point that I'm making, Uncle Brother. You're only comparing the kids in Baltimore to the kids in Beverly Hills right now. Why don't you compare the kids in Baltimore to the kids that were growing up 5 years out of slavery, when they took advantage more of the opportunity that they had to educate themselves when it wasn't easy for them, compared to the kids now? What can a kid in Baltimore, with all this DEI stuff that we got going on right now, with everything that we got going on with affirmative, all this stuff that hopefully stops when Trump's in. But what do you mean? Like, why are we looking at the kid? Yeah, the same kids in Baltimore, the ones that come in the Jordans. Yeah, their parents can have them read. We're acting as if Asians, like the Asian population is a good population to look at. We're acting as if all Asians come over here with a lot of money. No, they have a mentality, a certain level of discipline, to where they will sacrifice whatever is necessary in order to educate their children. They're not sitting here saying, well, what opportunities do the kids in Baltimore have? Isn't the mayor of Baltimore from Baltimore? So what did he do? Seeing Uncle Brother wrote, seeing those kids succeed in libraries full of the latest technology they can use to learn to code. Uncle Brother, they can tap in. They have the opportunity to tap in on a show right now that we're on and listen to the things that you're saying. They can listen to this conversation. They didn't have that opportunity 5 years after slavery. They didn't have this opportunity, Jim Crow. They didn't have YouTube University, where you can literally go on YouTube and learn a trade like that and then go get a job. They didn't have any of these things. We got to stop giving excuses to people, not because they don't deserve them, but because it doesn't do anything but hinder their success. People can, if a kid grows up in Baltimore right now, they have every opportunity to say, like, damn, look, I was born in Baltimore. I was born in Chicago. I was born into this. Yes, you were. Yes, it's a shame. It's a shame that you were born in this. Now, do you want to get out of it? Or do you want to people to continue to tell you, hey, this is a shame that you were born here? And do you want to see yourself as a victim? You're right. I'm not, you can be right. You can live in that victimhood. A lot of people do it. You can pat yourself on the back. You can do whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel better about life. But if you want to be successful, there's certain small things that you can do, whether you're growing up in the inner city in Chicago, the inner city in Baltimore, the Bronx. There's small things that you can do. And I'm not saying that it's going to be as easy as everybody else, but so what? Neither is getting to the NBA, and all y'all think y'all going to the NBA. All y'all think y'all going to the NFL. I guarantee you reading a book is a lot easier than that. It's a lot easier to become successful in life than it is to make the NFL or the NBA. But why do all the black kids in the community have the battery in our back when it comes to every parent thinking that their kid's going to be the next LeBron James, compared to just, hey, you can get a solid job with a solid salary, or you can start a business. Can you imagine if black kids, instead of chasing the NFL and the NBA, put that time and effort into learning a business on YouTube and creating those businesses, how much money and how much more success we would have? Uncle Brother wrote, I guess I'm just out of touch, but when I roll through Baltimore, kids run up to my car with squeegees trying to clean my windows. They're not sitting around on their iPhone because they don't have one. Uncle Brother. When you roll through these same impoverished areas, okay, you're saying that they don't have cell phones. Those are some of the best dressed. You go to a black school that's in the hood in poverty, they will have some of the nicest clothes compared to that white school that is up the street, down the whatever else, however far it is. I think it is a little bit, I'm not going to say out of touch, but I think it's just a different generational view at this. And maybe if those kids were taught, instead of picking up a squeegee, to pick up a book by their parents. Matter of fact, instead of, and there's nothing wrong with the school. Well, maybe if they were taught how to do it maybe get money in a different way, maybe things would go a lot better. I'm just being honest. I'm just from my perspective. We act as if, like, on one end, I feel like when we treat a group of people like such victims, we take away the potential that they have in them. They take away the potential that they have in them. This is not a complicated thing, in my opinion. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's not complicated to be successful. You can tell anybody, if you sell something, if you're in sales, which is why I recommend that everybody experiences sales. It is not hard to sell products. You just knock on doors. What most people suffer from, myself included, is you stop knocking on doors. It's not like it's a complicated thing. Okay, my success rate is for every 10 people that I visit, I sell one product to people. Okay, so you have the option you have a 10% close rate, 1 out of 10. So you can either improve in your delivery or something that increases your close rate to maybe 2 out of 10 people. Or if you just keep things the same, then you need to just up the amount of people that you're going to see. If you see 100 people a week, that means you just made 10 sales. This is not complicating. We act as if like there's really, as much as we think is holding us back, and maybe this is just me being delusional, I don't see it. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real